Hi everyone, welcome to a very special edition of Tie Break. I'm Aaron Kumar and I'm delighted to say I'm joined by my good friend and the editor of Cricket World, John Pennington. John, how are you doing?
Very well, thank you, Aaron. How are you?
Yeah, doing well, thanks John. So John, there's been a lot of great tennis throughout the season and now here we are, the best eight in the world for the season, although we are without Rafael Nadal. Sadly he's pulled out, having appendicitis dealt with, and so it's a season finals and a great event actually at the O2 Arena. They always put on a really, really good show. You got any thoughts, John, looking ahead to the tournament?
Well, I think it's going to be a great tournament. I mean, we've spoken so much about the battle for these 8 players to get there, and I think that just shows the stature of the tournament. All the players want to get there, and Murray has played more tournaments than he was initially scheduled to try and get enough points to get into the tournament. And it should be a good one. As you say, there's no Rafael Nadal, but the others are there on merit, and it should be an absolute cracker. I know we've talked before about the way that the winners of the first round then play each other and the losers play each other, so you don't have any dead rubbers, so that just makes it really exciting.
No, I absolutely agree, JP, and I've just been looking actually at the respective groups. I see in one group we've got Djokovic with Marin Cilic, the surprise US Open champion. And he's got Berdych and Stanislav Wawrinka, of course, the surprise Australian Open champion. So, looking at that group, JP, I think Djokovic has won this tournament the last 2 years. He's become the best player in the world indoors, without a doubt. I mean, he looked unbeatable in Paris. He won every match in straight sets. So, I'm going with Djokovic to top that group, JP. Second place is much more hard to predict. If you look at the head-to-heads, he's got a 10-0 head-to-head. Djokovic's got a 10-0 head-to-head against Cilic. He's 15-2 against Berdych, and he very nearly double-bageled Berdych in an ATP final a couple of weeks ago. And he's 13-2 against Wawrinka. So it's very hard to pick out of those 3 who's going to come through. Wawrinka, you would think if he plays his best, he's capable of taking both of those 2, but he's not been in any sort of form. But I'm probably going to go with Wawrinka to get out of that group. How about you, JP? You got any thoughts on who might come through that group?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Djokovic and Cilic, purely because you talked about Wawrinka hasn't been in a great amount of form, and obviously Berdych was stumped the other week. So I just think Cilic, having got through the US Open, I think he might just up his game a bit for the big stage and get through with Djokovic. So I'm going to disagree with you there.
Okay, that's fair. We like that. Actually, and that could be interesting, actually, JP. You do make a good point. If Cilic is firing, he has got a very, very good game for an indoor surface. He's tall, he's got the big serve. So if he discovers that form, there's no reason why Cilic can't do really, really well here. And then we've got the other group, JP, which actually looks quite interesting to me, because if you look at Murray's head-to-head against Nishikori, it's quite lopsided in Murray's favour. It's 3-0, but they haven't played for a couple of years. I still take Murray to get through Nishikori. I think despite how well Nishikori is playing, I think Murray's playing very well at the moment, and I think it's a good matchup for Murray. So I will take Murray to win that match. Federer-Murray, it's an interesting one, isn't it, JP? Because Federer hasn't actually led their head-to-head since the very first match they played back in 2005. Since then, it's either been tied or Murray's always led. But now it's 11-all. Federer liked playing Murray at the O2. Federer's a great indoor player. He's never lost to Murray at the O2 in 3 previous matches. So I have to give Federer the slight edge. The interesting one for me, JP, is Raonic and Murray have played 4 times and Raonic's won 3 of them. But the caveat I'd put there is that Murray's one win was at the US Open when he went on to win. So that does indicate to me that if Murray's really on song and if Murray's really in his zone, he should win. So I'm going with Federer to top that group, and I'm going to go with Murray to come through in second in that group. How about yourself, JP?
I'm going to go with the same. I just think on this occasion that Federer and Murray have got a lot more experience with this sort of competition. It's a different sort of competition. I believe it's Nishikori's first time at this.
It is, that's correct.
Right, which has been before. Correct you there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I just think on this occasion the experience of those 2 will be too much for their opponents. And Murray, we've talked a lot about him. He's come through these extra tournaments. He's actually getting somewhere near, maybe not near to his best, but certainly at a much higher level than he started the year. So I'm taking Federer and Murray to get through from this group as well.
Brilliant, JP. And obviously it's hard to predict semi-final lineups and stuff like that because first and second. But any thoughts on a potential winner, JP, for us?
Well, it is hard to look beyond Djokovic, isn't it? He really has been the class of the field this season. Look at the total points he took in, way more than anybody apart from Federer. So could be interesting if, say, Murray tops that group and you end up with Djokovic Federer in the semi-final. Could be quite interesting, but I still think Djokovic would be too strong, and I'm going to go with him to win. I know it's probably probably boring, but I just think he's been a class apart this year.
No, I agree with you. I think, in fact, if you're looking at it, it does look now, I think after he won Paris, I think Federer mathematically still can finish number one, but it pretty much would be very, very difficult now. And I think the good thing from Djokovic's point of view is he has been the most consistent player. Like, he won Wimbledon, finals at the French Open, semi-finals at the US Open. Probably the one thing for being a little critical of Djokovic was, in the last couple of years actually, he just hasn't quite hammered home that dominance in the majors. You know, he could have probably had a couple more majors to show for how well he's played. But the fact is, in the Masters, he's won 4 out of 9 Masters. I mean, that is phenomenal. He's been the best player consistently, and the way he's playing indoors, it is hard to look past him, but hopefully we'll have a good tournament. And the other little thing we should put in there is the Davis Cup final is in just a week's time, and there's no French players here, so how much in the back of Federer's mind, obviously a different surface, clay and Wawrinka, I wonder how much that's going to play a part as well.
Good point, yeah, difficult to answer that one, and they will obviously say that they're not thinking about it, they're taking one game at a time, but it must play a part, and they must be thinking, I don't want to get injured, or I don't want to overdo it sort of things, but yeah, that's a very good point.
Especially for Federer, JP, because obviously for Wawrinka, I think, everything he's done this year has been great for him. It's the best year of his career, and, it's amazing what he's done. But for Federer, who's won everything there is to win in the sport, he's won this title 6 times, which is a world record. Of course he wants to win. Federer's a great competitor. He wants to win everything he plays. But how many more chances, realistically, is Switzerland going to get to win a Davis Cup, that elusive Davis Cup? So as you say, every match, yes, of course he wants to win at the O2, but you do wonder, don't you, at the back of your mind. And I guess we'll kind of see over the next few days just how much of a subplot that is. But it'll be interesting to keep an eye on. So, yeah, well, JP, thanks for your time. I guess...
Can I just make a final point, Aaron?
Go for it.
I just want to say there are some French players there, but in the doubles, of course, Benetton and Roger Vasselin. Any thoughts on who might win the doubles tournament?
The doubles is going to be very, very interesting, JP. There's been quite a lot of players doing really, really well all season. We had that big surprise last year where Verdasco, who actually qualified as a singles player in 2009, won it with Moreira, beating the Bryan brothers. But the Bryan brothers have looked exceptional this season. I mean, despite their age, they've kind of looked really, really good. And I'm going to go with the Bryan brothers.
Yeah, me too. I think, again, looking at the points and the rankings, they look too strong for me.
Brilliant. Well, JP, I think we didn't agree completely on the group stages, but we did agree on the winners, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great tournament. Would love to hear what you guys think. Don't forget to tweet us on at Tiebreak Sports. JP, once again, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And see you all again soon.